My name is Monte Hawkins, and I'm the owner of Lifequest Girls Academy.
And I'm Rachael Hawkins, also the other owner of Lifequest Girls Academy. And we have a boarding school in Utah. We found Amy and Heather through a parent. They were actually advocating with a parent and their RAD daughter
At our facility.
And so that's kind of how we heard about RAD Advocates. And we reached out to them and just told them we wanted to be more informed on RAD, and that's when they started doing RAD
training with our staff.
RAD trainings with our staff, and just informed us of what RAD was and what it looked like. And we just have been in contact with them. And
the more and more students that we've received that are diagnosed with RAD, we thought, well, we better start learning more and more about RAD and getting as much training and as much information that's accurate as possible. So that's why we wanted to be here, and that's why we're here. To learn more. It's eye-opening for me, just the families are where they're at, and they've reached that point through the many things that have happened in their home that have threatened their safety, and that's been really scary and interesting to learn about. That there's that severe, that extreme type of threat in their own home. That's been very eye-opening to me.
Yeah, I would say this conference has opened my eyes on so many things, but first is that the systems that our government has are failing families left and right. And these families are left to their own resources to help these kids. And it's really hard because RAD's not that well known, and they're left with very zero resources. But also I would say my eyes have been open that these families are struggling so hard to keep their bio kids safe, to keep their other adopted kids safe, and they're struggling with guilt and shame and all these things that, it's just, I've seen a different side of the spectrum because we deal with the RAD kids all day long, but to see what these families are going through behind the scenes has opened my eyes, and it's been a game changer for sure to learn about this in this way.
It's also been very surprising to me that the professional world doesn't know much about RAD.
Yeah.
As far as the level of understanding of what RAD is, because we're not therapists. My my background is education, and so our program is educationally based. Keep them safe, get their diploma, get them some life skills, job skills. I just assumed that the therapeutic world and the clinical world had a good grasp on RAD, and from this conference, it doesn't sound like that's the case.
I think RAD Advocates is
hitting
invaluable.
The nail on the head.
Yes. RAD Advocates changed almost everything for us as a facility. Our very first, and I shared this in one of the sessions that we were in, but we wouldn't even be where we are without RAD Advocates. We had a parent and a student come in, and like I said earlier, Amy was their advocate. And I used to dread that meeting. Amy and a parent and their RAD daughter. And I would tell him, I have my meeting with RAD Amy. So we didn't know anything about RAD Advocates. With RAD Amy, this parent and her daughter, and I would dread it because I thought her mom was crazy. I did not understand it. And it wasn't until Amy stepped in and started helping me understand and training me and him and our staff, and I realized I was the one that had it wrong, and that was a huge realization to come to. But I ended up actually calling this mom much later after her daughter had moved on and
her daughter did well.
Yeah, her daughter did really well with us.
She turned it around.
That's where, it's classic RAD. She does well with us because we have no pressures for her to attach. And so she was great. She got a job with us. She earned money. She followed our rules. She was motivated because we had goods and services for her to earn and pathways that she wanted, and so she was great. And so I didn't understand why her mom was so nope, we don't want she's not coming back home, and
just parent her.
Yeah,
just
we were
love
like,
her.
yeah.
We didn't know.
I didn't
but we're learning.
understand. Yeah, and so I ended up calling this mom later, it's probably a year later, and apologizing to her and saying, I have been educated on RAD and I owe you an apology, and I would not have come to that without RAD Advocates. There's no way.
Yeah.
It was a game changer for us.
Our hearts go out to the parents. It's sorry. What they're dealing with is hard, and sorry. We're in a position to help with respite, with mid or long-term care. That's what we're after, is option, a solution. Helping where we can. It's not a quick fix, it's not an overnight fix, but we do provide a safe option for families to at least take a break and know that their daughter's in a safe environment where we're learning about how to best help them succeed when they're adults.
Yeah, I think a lot of the emotion comes from before this conference. RAD was a diagnosis, and it was faceless, I mean, our students have it, but we see, again, the side of students that are functioning without pressures to attach. And so we see a different side of RAD. In this conference, we've seen the heartbreak that comes with RAD. We've seen the families, and it's brought a lot of emotion out of us, because it's been extremely eye-opening, and it's heartbreaking what these parents are going through.